Hello, my luminaries. Today's reading is a message that it took me a while to kind of pin down during meditation. It took me a minute to really kind of understand what I believe my guides were trying to explain to me. And that is there is some sort of do-over energetically that seems to be in the works. Now, for those who, reliably watch tarot videos and or astrology videos, you might be hearing lately that there's a lot, kind of expected in November with there being a retrograde in November and some other planetary movements happening throughout the end of the year and into the new year. And I'm not going to pretend to understand all of that. I wish I was an astrologer, and it's something that I aspire to one day. But there was a time, maybe a month or so ago, where I was feeling an energy about November and December, the end of the year, basically. And I was saying that there's something going to happen, and or there's some sort of event or experience in November, December. So it, for me, even as a reader, a new reader here on YouTube, it is validating, confirming that astrologers who know this beautiful craft are kind of helping me validate my own intuitive reads of the energy. And so this is what this is about, because when I was in meditation, I was feeling specifically for my collective that there was some sort of redo, or proverbially like a do-over. And I got the time frame of the last 6 to 7 years. So for those of you that this might resonate, we're talking about the end of 2018 to even maybe the spring of 2019. There's something that took place or a realization that happened during that time. And it may be that you recognized at that point in your life there was lots of changes. Maybe there were the ending of cycles, new cycles starting, or new chapters starting. But then I thought about where we're coming into now, going into 2026. So it's, 6 or 7 years later. And there's this kind of feeling of a do-over. And I feel like I might be getting a little lost in the sauce here, but it really feels like there was something that took place, an event, a meeting, a relationship, an opportunity, an awakening, if you will, that took place sometime between 2018 and maybe early 2020. Let's just put it there, okay? And now that we're moving into 2026, there is a chance to do over. I hope that makes sense. For the right collective, for those that it resonates, you'll be feeling this feeling of something is changing. Something is dramatically changing, and you can recognize who you were 6 or 7 years ago, recognize who that person was, how they moved, the decisions that they made. But now moving into 2026, there is something significantly and markedly different about how you think, how you move, and how you view yourself. Okay, for those that it may resonate, I've never watched this show, but I've been told about it. There's a show back in the day called Dallas, I think, and it was like a daytime soap opera, right? It ran for whatever amount of years it was. And, for anybody that hasn't seen it but is interested in seeing it, like, I don't want to spoil it for you, so you might want to fast forward for like 30 seconds or a minute. But from what I understand, the closing of that series, the ending of it, was somebody waking up and saying, was that all a dream? Everything that I experienced was just a dream? It's the feeling that I get, it's something like that. The last 6 to 7 years that have played out, that we've learned, that we've grown, that we've had realizations in our lives, has been, it feels almost like it's so different from where we're at now and where we're going that it feels like a dream, and that we're standing at the precipice of this do-over, like Back to the Future. We experienced a timeline, and now we are waking up and we're looking at the next 6 to 7 years with the information that we have now. And we're like, this is a chance to do something over. I've lived that life the last 6 to 7 years, and something energetically is saying, hit the reset button. You're getting a new opportunity. You're getting another chance. You're getting another experience. You're getting a chance to level up. However you want to interpret that or hear that. So I understand that intro was a little bit longer than my normal ones, but it was such a complex energy. If you're still here, then this means it resonates with you. There is something that you're feeling, collective, that I'm tapping into, and I've been feeling throughout the work week. That there's just something is closing out, and there's a new chapter, a new stage, a new era for you even, that is unfolding as we're speaking right now. Hold on. I just realized my table is a little bit crooked, so I'm just going to see if I can... There we go. Sorry. That was going to bother me. All reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some oracles. Spirit, I don't know. That was such a very specific message. I just heard it is, but there's big change. Maybe I'm hearing some of you maybe are thinking about, I heard building a new home, but I don't think it means like building an actual house from the ground up, but building a new home for yourself, whatever that means. Could be a new place to live, could be a new relationship. Finding home within yourself is what I'm saying. Being comfortable with yourself. It feels almost as if, collective, there's a part of you that, yes, you're feeling like this energetic shift, almost like you're jumping timelines kind of thing. But that's happening, yes, because planetary movements and energy, but also because I'm getting the very distinct feeling from you all that enough. That past version of me, or that life, that chapter, needs to close because I'm ready for something new. I want to hit the reset button. I want this do-over with the information that I have now, how I've learned, how I've grown, how I've, healed. Okay, let's go ahead. I do feel like this is going to be an oracle-led read. So if you are more inclined to hearing tarot reads, I understand. But this one, I believe, I'm getting the inclination, it's just going to be oracles today. All right. Okay, Spirit, can you help me understand this energy for the collective? Because it feels like, I just heard it's like knocking loud at the door. Someone just might have knocked on your door, like legitimately, but that would be a confirmation for someone that this message is for you. Okay, so the first card we have is Strength, 44. 44 is an angel number. And the way that I see the 44 specifically, depending on your situation in life, the 44 breaks down for me to the 8, which is the Strength card in tarot, depending on the deck. Because I know sometimes the Strength card can be the 11th major arcana or the 8th, depending on who's printing the deck. But also I see this as a 4 and a 4, which essentially is 11-11 and 11-11, which is a lot of extrapolations, but I'm saying it because there is a reason. There's something about like a divine timing. This is a very specific, divinely orchestrated moment in time. You're not just being tapped on your shoulder for no reason. You're not having that little inkling in your brain that says, enough, I want something more. I've been burying this too long. I've wanted this for, this has been a goal in my life for a really long time. I want this, but am I ready? Like there's a lot of that kind of conversation. And so, or not conversation, but internal monologue. And we have the strength card because I believe that the universe is telling you, collective, and a lot of people in the greater world, that you've always had the means and the strength to live the life and to orchestrate your timeline and to create the destiny that you want. I've said it before on my channel. You are the maestro of your own destiny. The universe can present you opportunities, but you still have to decide what path you're going to walk, how you're going to react, the things you're going to say, what you're going to allow to disrupt your peace and your energy. This is telling me that it is time for you to harness that strength. And that doesn't mean that you have to be perfect, that all the ducks have to be in a row, because I've said it again before on my channel, where readiness isn't a feeling, it's an action. If you're waiting to feel ready for something, I don't want to poo-poo people's energy, but it's like, if you're waiting to feel absolutely ready, zero doubt, full confidence, you might be waiting for a while. It's like, I've equated it to being parents, but I'm saying this for a reason. You might be a parent, or you want to be a parent, or if it doesn't have to do with children, it might be the idea of birthing something, or safeguarding an idea, a want, protecting your dreams, for instance. But I've likened it to parents in the sense that parents, you hear all the time that they've tried to prepare, they try to read the books, they do all the thing. And with every parent that I've ever talked to, I don't have children, but the people that I've talked to have said, I read all the books, I bought all the supplies, and nothing really could prepare me for what it's like to actually be a parent. There are some points of real confusion and points of joy that I never even thought, like the simplest things could bring me joy. And I didn't realize some of the smaller things to weigh on your mind that you never thought would before. So in the terms of, we accept it for parents, you never really fully are ready or feel ready, because readiness isn't a feeling. It is an action. Spirit, oh my gosh, Spirit is saying, I'm feeling like such an elated energy, like a very high vibrational, very positive, very oh gosh. I just heard Rob Schneider in I forget what movie it is, but I can hear Rob Schneider going, "You can do it." But like that. There is an energetic team cheering you on, being you are ready. You hear people say the saying often where all my life has been leading to this moment right here. This is the moment in which I shine. And a lot of times people use it in a humorous way, my entire life I've been training for this moment, and they're bowling or some innocuous thing. But in very real terms, it feels like your whole life, especially in the last 6 to 7 years, you have been preparing for this moment, this chance to hit that reset, to be now is going to be different. Now I'm going to take that opportunity. Now I'm not going to be afraid to take that job. Now I'm going to believe in myself and invest in myself, to trust myself with this abundance, when perhaps maybe you weren't sure if you were ready. That's a lot for just this one card. Let me just say, oh my goodness. All right, let's keep going. Tell me more about wide open. So to me, this is the full card energy. I mean, just look at that. And not only is it wide open where it's the 42, for those that it resonates, this is the answer to the universe, right? If you know, you know. What is the meaning or the answer to the universe? 42. It's a Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy. If that means something to you, this reading is also for you. I don't know why it came up, but it did. This is the full card energy. This is you can do it, right? So it's sorry, I'm just like stumbling all over my words because I get really excited about these readings. So you have the inner strength. Readiness isn't a feeling, it is an action. And the universe is saying, now is the time. You've been preparing your whole life. All the stuff that you've gone through, all the joys and all the hardships, all the highs and the lows has been leading to this moment of rebirth, what's the word I'm looking for? Reinvention. One of my candles just went out. Hold on. I do want to get another candle because I like to have them on. But confirmation, if someone is like, I just heard, if it's really windy outside right now, that is a confirmation. Again, I don't know why all these like little side confirmations, but if it's windy outside, that's a confirmation. Take it as it resonates. Okay, let me get another candle. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. While I was getting my the replacement candle for that little tea light there, when I said wind is a confirmation, if it's really windy where you are, that would be a confirmation. And yes, that still holds true. But as I was getting the candles, I heard air signs. So if you're an air sign, if you are a Gemini, if you are an Aquarius, if you are a Libra, specifically Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, air signs, you might be feeling, out of all of the zodiacs, you may be feeling this even more. Now, I understand everyone has like some air in their chart, even if it just has to do with the houses. But if you have strong air placements, whether or not it is your sun, moon, rising, or stellium, or perhaps, you focus a lot of your energy and or do a lot of reads on like, your air sign in Venus or air sign in Mercury, then again, confirmation for you. But specifically with air signs, it feels like you all are on this precipice. You can feel it. You are teetering on the edge of an old life, an old way, an old cycle, an old chapter, and bravely moving towards something new. That's not to say that there isn't trepidation there, that you're not nervous, you're not scared. But there's also a part of like this realization. All of a sudden you're like, oh, this is why all of this happened. Like I said, over the last 6 to 7 years, there have been some real milestones with you all, some real changes, some growth, also, some shadow work. That stuff is not easy, but it's parts of us that we need more love and attention so we can integrate it and let it be part of our experience. Air signs, my goodness, you're coming through so strong right now. You all are sitting on making a decision to do something. I don't want to say wild. That's not it. But it does feel like an endeavor that is just like, wow, this is, I just felt like a hard swallow. This is just like hard swallow, a big opportunity, a big chance. This could literally change my life. Then we have the Fool card. Wide open. Arms open, ready for this next stage. Ready for what life is bringing. Oh my gosh, there's so much symbolism coming through. I'm seeing, if doorways mean anything to you, I'm seeing someone walk through a doorway. So essentially the imagery of moving from one chapter or moving from one room or one timeline into the next. And you've made the decision, okay, I'm going to do this. This is nerve-wracking. This is maybe even scary for you, like the change, the amount of upheaval that will need to happen. In order for something that you want to do to happen, there needs to be other stuff that may need to be orchestrated around you. It's a big endeavor, but it is also life-changing. And it feels like once you've walked into the room or walked through that doorway and you're like, okay, I'm ready for this next chapter, the door closes behind you. And then there may be, I'm hearing, again, a moment of trepidation, a moment of nervousness where you turn around and you try to jiggle the knob to get back to where you came from, but you can't. Once you've made the decision to move forward, that's it. It's only moving forward from there. So you are in this liminal space right now of closing out an old chapter, closing out an old cycle, and moving towards a new way of life. a new chapter that, if I have any gamers watching, it's like the doorway of fog in like a Souls game. It's a doorway or like a scene of fog. You don't know what's going to be on the other side. It could be one of the toughest encounters of your life, but it also could lead towards an encounter that you thought you weren't ready for, but you absolutely like body that boss. I'm sorry, I'm talking like gamer terms, but you don't know what's on the other side. It could be the greatest challenge of your life, or it could be something that you're so prepared for, it was a non-issue. But there is some sort of hurdle to get over by moving through that wall of fog. Again, strength. The universe is asking you to have the strength to trust in yourself that you are ready for this. There is so much energy focused on now is the time. I'm getting all these like movie quotes and like gamer quotes because now I'm seeing Oren Ishii from that movie Kill Bill, and she's like shouting, "Now is the fucking time." Now, I'm sorry about swearing, but we're all adults here. Now is the time for this action. You can do it. There is an energetic team, and it might even just be your higher self that's like, yes, move towards radical self-love, move towards self-mastery, move towards, your best timeline, what you want, because in pursuit of your own particular brand of happiness is getting closer and closer, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to have that full energy to take that leap. Then we have Moonlight. This is for me again, this is like the moon card. And what's interesting that I didn't even notice until right now, I just said you're coming upon a foggy doorway or foggy wall. You don't know what's on the other side of it. The moon card often is a card of uncertainty or mystery, of not knowing what's on the other side, that the moonlight only gently illuminates the path in front of you. It doesn't show you the whole path, but it provides you enough light to move forward and to trust. Moon is also intuition. If you're connected to lunar cycles, if you're connected to the moon, this is also confirmation for you. And I said over here, we have the 44, which to me is 11 and 11. So this is divine. With the 4 and the 2, that's 6. That's a lover energy. That's the lover's card. 5 and 1. That's again another 6, another lover energy. Now I really try hard not to make all of my readings about love, but it very well could be. Or it could be love of self. Like, you see what I'm saying? The moon card. Uncertainty. Unknown. But there's just enough light illuminating your path for you to trust your gut, trust your instincts, trust your intuition to move forward. You can do it, right? You're closing out a chapter. You are absolutely ready to shake off whatever residual burdens that you're still carrying. And again, that realization may have come in the last 6 to 7 years, a real realization of, I'm hearing, why am I like this? And then the answer was provided. Like, you understand where some of maybe your hangups come from. And you're being incentivized or encouraged to move towards radical self-love, which is also healing and recognizing your strengths, not just focusing on what is quote unquote issues for you, what's wrong with you, but also to recognize that as humans, we are imperfect beings, but we're always moving, growing, adapting, evolving. Trust that sort of progressive energy to realize I'm having a very human experience. Yeah, so sure, maybe my past wasn't super smooth, but what I want for myself going forward is abundance in whatever way it manifests. What I want is inner peace and happiness. What I want is to live the life that I always wanted, free of my burdens, free of my trauma, free of old cycles. And you are on the precipice. You can see it. You can feel it. Oren Ishii. Now is the fucking time. But I don't say it in a way that is like demanding or like an order. It's like it's filled with like in real life, I'm a little bit of a potty mouth. So that's why for me, it's like, you can do it. It's like, come on, you got it. You got this. That's what it feels like. Don't be afraid of whatever this is. Don't be afraid of moving through that wall of fog like a Souls game, and don't worry about what boss encounter, what obstacles on the other side. You are strong enough. You've prepared enough. It likely is a non-issue. And even if it does present some challenge, believe in yourself that you can move through it with grace, with integrity, with self-love, and you can handle whatever is presented to you, because it's part of how we grow. It's part of shaking away the past burdens. The obstacle that's on the other side likely is an amalgamation of insecurities or traumas or negative self-talk, and you have to overcome that in order to unlock a certain type of abundance or freedom or love or opportunity, because again, we are the maestros of our own destiny. I really believe you can do this, whatever it is. One more card from this deck, because we're going to grab some more. Oop, there we go. So then we have commitment, 36. So commitment, I mean, again, I don't want to always make my readings about love, even if I am a love reader, but there's something about making a commitment, making a promise. I'm hearing this time it's going to be different. I'm hearing I have to lock it in. I have to commit myself to this journey. I have to make the decision to take that job, make that appointment, travel to that destination, allow love, hold like strong boundaries. There is a commitment to yourself and to others that is really showcasing. And 36, the number 36 breaks down to 9, which is hermit energy. You spent a lot of time the last 6 to 7 years, perhaps in this hermit energy, where you're deep diving, where you're, like I said, ask yourself the question, why am I like this? And then you were presented an answer, and you got the answer, and you're like, I'm looking at this like, all right, that's my answer. So what do I want to do with this? It's not always going to be a walk in the park. Sometimes dealing with our insecurities or our negative self-thought can be like, I've said it in other readings, where when you set a goal for yourself, the biggest first hurdle, first obstacle that presents itself is yourself. Your negative self-talk, your disbelief that you're worthy of it or that you could do it. Breaking your own barrier, that your own wall of self, your own self-created wall, is one of the hardest things. So whether or not it's taking the job, making a call, making an appointment, having that discussion, traveling to said location, moving your entire life to somewhere that's more conducive to your happiness and your peace, the first hurdle is going to be yourself, an old version of yourself that's comfortable where it's at back there. But collective, I really feel like you're moving forward. I just heard difficulties be damned. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I love this. This energy, it feels so positive. I'm sorry about being such like a potty mouth through this reading, but this commitment to yourself feels very, very poignant. But it also, for those that it resonates, if you are in a situation that has to do with love, it also is a commitment to someone else. And I don't mean just, I'm in a relationship and we are going to be exclusive. I mean, yes, sure, that's kind of like the basic of it. But the commitment is, I'm committing to being more honest with you, my partner. I'm committing to being more consistent. I'm committing to being more dependable. I'm committing to taking the small steps in order to be more vulnerable, or to express how I feel, or to not react out of ego and just to sit in the energy when we're having a discussion. allowing you time and space to express yourself. I'm making that commitment to increase the vulnerability and the receptibility in the relationship, and holding space for others' feelings as well as my own. Like that kind of commitment, not just relationship, like the stuff that makes a relationship. So let's get some clarification on this strength card. That was a lot. That was a lot, but it honestly feels like a really good reading so far. Okay, so can I get some clarification or additional information on the strength card? Why is the strength card here? What is, storm warning. Okay, storm warning. It's a 10 card, which is Wheel of Fortune in the major arcana of tarot, but storm warning and strength. Remember, and there's all this kind of like fog and clouds here. This is, again, if you are a gamer, it's that doorway into in the Souls game that you have to go before you have a major encounter with like a boss or like a big baddie or whatever. But for those that are not gamers, it's that moment of recognizing I need to face this head on. It might be scary. This is also tower energy from tarot, and tower energy isn't meant to scare us or hurtful unnecessarily. It is there to shake loose, to shake free the shackles, the burdens, the trauma. It's there to, yes, disrupt, but disrupt in the most beautiful way, because on the other side of this storm is a new version, is a clear road, is a life that you're trying to set up. But I hate to use the cliche, you can't bake a cake without cracking a few eggs. You can't, attend to a garden without putting your hands in the dirt and pulling up all the choking weeds. There is some grit in this, but again, you got this. You can do it. There is some challenge. And again, maybe the challenge is just you worrying about the challenge. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to make light of it, but this is here for a reason. When we're on the precipice of change, there is no change without challenge. If there's no challenge, then there's no change. And then it turns into complacency, stagnancy. We as humans are always moving, changing, growing, evolving. We're not static. This is really important. And for some of you, I just heard this is a storm of your own making, and not in a way that I'm blaming you, in a way where like I'm seeing like a storm rider, like someone putting a saddle on this, just riding it through, being like, look, this is the tornado or the storm that's coming in, but I'm riding this storm. I am part of this storm. I am choosing to be part of the upheaval or the disruption, because I know it's what's required for this clear sky, for this open road, this chance at a new life, or at least the new way of looking at life. Okay, can we get some clarification on the wide open card, or the Fool card, or the Lover's card, depending on how you want to look at it? All may apply. Several things can be true at once. Cornucopia 11. Oh my gosh. So the Cornucopia card reminds me of 10 of Pentacles. Just look at that. Look at all that warmth and light. Look at, we're going from this to this. I'm getting so many energetic chills right now. Some of y'all are calling in this storm. You're looking the storm straight in the face, and you're like, look, I know this is necessary. I know. I spent the last 6 to 7 years preparing for this moment. I know it needs to change, because if I don't shake myself loose of these chains from my body, these shackles, this hurdle that has been keeping me from a certain type of abundance, a certain type of freedom, if I don't do it, I won't be able to achieve this, which is what I really, really want. What I really, really want. Now, over here, I can't tell if that's a 2 or an 11. I want to say it's an 11, because that's what I thought right away. And the 11 card is the Justice card in the tarot. This is what's right, what is owed to you, the happiness the success, the abundance, the stability, the dependability, longevity for the long haul is owed to you because of all the work that you've done. If you allow yourself to be open to receive, this can be what comes in. And I just heard not even what could be. This is what will come in if you allow yourself to be open. Someone online once said this quote, and I don't know who it is, but if someone knows the quote, please put, the credit in the comments of who actually said this quote. It was either like on Twitter a long time ago or like on Facebook. But anyway, someone once said, to love is to submit yourself to the horrifying ordeal of being known. Now, this is particularly for someone who may feel like some sort of blocks in like a romantic connection or some sort of deep love connection, like maybe being honest with parents or being honest with a best friend or being honest with yourself about, a romantic love that you want. In order to love, or to love is to submit yourself to the horrifying idea or ordeal of being known. Sometimes having someone see us so clearly for who we are without our mask, without our armor, is a simultaneously freeing and comfortable, and they feel like home, but at the same time it's terrifying and nerve-wracking, because what if they see something they don't like? You know what I'm saying? But in order to experience great love or great happiness, the flip side is allowing yourself to be open. And I'm hearing, but I understand that to experience great love can also leave you vulnerable or open to a great hurt. But the point of love is not to focus on how they might hurt you. The focus is being open and allowing them to hold your heart and trusting that they won't. And if that person is your true match or your soul family, if they're really the greatest love of your life, or they're really like your best friend, or that family member really is truly wants what's absolutely best for you, because I know not all family is like that. They're going to do everything in their power to never hurt you. And that's not saying that they won't ever hurt you. We're human. Sometimes it happens unconsciously, but they will do everything in their power to hold your heart sacred. I said all that for a reason. So someone might be worried about being open and authentic. And I heard open, authentic in relationships. And for some people, I did say it could be all walks of life. It could literally just being open and honest about who you really are and what you've gone through with friends, with family, with lovers. If this is like a self-love journey, this could be also in therapy. Maybe that's that big hurdle for those that it resonates. When we're talking about radical self-love and recognizing I'm done with my old version, I see my new version, and you're in this liminal space of leaving an old chapter and embarking on a new one. And that step is to be vulnerable. And the biggest hurdle is self-doubt. Maybe being open is being open with a counselor, a therapist, a life coach, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to get clarification on moonlight. This is a little bit of uncertainty. Oh, and I got community. So community, this looks a lot like Three of Cups to me. I know it's a 7, but this looks a lot like Three of Cups. The path may seem uncertain right now, and or a little bit mysterious, a little bit of fog blocking the way, but there's just enough gentle illumination with the moon to show you the path forward. And the reason why it's only showing you a little bit of the path is because the moon is about intuition, trusting your soul, trusting your intuition, your gut, your instincts. Again, if you're connected to the moon or someone, or you're connected to someone who is connected to the moon, or does celestial magic or moon magic, or any of those kind of like what's the words, peripheries? I don't know if that's the right word, but like the different connections with the moon, this may resonate. The community is finding your soul tribe, finding the one, someone who wants to celebrate you, to walk through life with you, to understand you, to recognize. We just talked about the horrifying ordeal of being known, is the idea of being seen for who you are, and this new version of yourself that you're wanting to embark upon is both like, it feels, the idea of finding community and being that vulnerable and that open can be terrifying, but also freeing. And finding your soul tribe, finding those that really understand you and see you, is from trusting your intuition. Like I said, love is not about worrying about whether or not someone's going to hurt you. Love is about trusting someone enough that they won't. And your soul family, the person you're meant to be with, that opportunity that is being presented to you by the universe, is something that is meant for you and truly, truly was supposed to be part of your life, is never going to intentionally try to hurt you. Yes, we're all humans. And yes, in job, in family, in friends, in love, we can upset each other and we can unintentionally hurt, each other. But that's not on purpose. And being wide open also means being able to communicate, being like, this hurt me, or this made me feel some type of way. And that person who's supposed to be in your life, that job that's supposed to be part of your abundance, that family that you're trying to, build a new rapport with, that friend group that you want to reinforce, any of that would be like, I'm sorry, that wasn't what I meant. I'm so sorry. I can see how maybe it might have come off like that, and that wasn't my intention to hurt you. That's never my intention to hurt you. Like having that kind of energy around you. But again, it's part of being wide open. If it resonates, it resonates. Finding your soul tribe is a matter of instinct, is a matter of trusting your intuition, trusting your soul, and commitment. Can we get clarification on commitment? Carrying connections. So that's a 14. That is, let's see. 14 is temperance, I believe, if I've got that right. Temperance. So balance. Carrying connections, or 1 + 4 is 5. The Hierophant, established relationships. This is it's under commitment. Again, I'm trying not to make it about love, but y'all, come on, look at this. This may be specific, like if I'm just going to make it about relationships in general, like interpersonal communication, this is community, finding your soul tribe because they care about you. They have the way that you commit to making promises to yourself, to heal, to believe in yourself, to allow that new chapter to come in, even if it is a little bit, misty and mysterious. You don't know really where it's going, but you're walking that path because you're trusting your soul. You're trusting your intuition to guide you, to making the commitment to yourself, to take that job, to make that appointment, to make that call, to draw those healthy boundaries. Caring connection is the community that you will find. The caring connections is the community that you find when you allow yourself to be your most authentic, open, and vulnerable self. That's not to say that you're going to overshare, but there is strength in vulnerability. It is what creates deep and lasting connections with other humans. Vulnerability begets vulnerability. And if you allow yourself this moment to really harness your strength and trust that this new endeavor, this new life that you're shaping out for yourself, that you're ready to embark upon, does require vulnerability and putting yourself out there, the reward is a community that understands you, a person that truly understands and sees you, be it a best friend, a new love, a counselor, a job, a collective, a community. There's something in this next upcoming 6 to 7 years that is deeply transformational. And the moment this bridge, this portal, this fog gate that you're about to walk through is happening in November into the new year. I feel like there's going to be lots of change between November and springtime, basically winter. Okay, I'm gonna do one more row and then we'll wrap it up, because this feels like not only big energy, but I feel like it may give some of the collectives like food for thought, something to really consider. And again, it's not because I'm saying it, but no, it's because it's something that you've already been considering in your mind, but seeing it reflected back to you in a tarot reading, because I'm just picking up on the energy that you're presenting towards me. And me saying this is just confirming and validating that's how you're feeling. So you might already be feeling all it is that I've been talking about. And you hearing it is giving you a moment of pause to be like, okay, so yeah, I was thinking about that. And I had these feelings, and seeing it reflected back to me is confirmation that I am heading in the direction that I feel is right for me. Because you're using your own inner moral compass to pursue your own particular brand of happiness. Okay, so this last row we're going to use as what Spirit wants to say for each of these rows. Okay, what does Spirit want to say for strength during the storm? So then we have loyal heart. Loyal heart. Look at this. We've got commitment, caring connections, and loyal heart. Spirit is asking, when you make that commitment to yourself, to others, to a collective, to a love, when you make that commitment, this person is going to come forward in the most authentic way. I feel like I want to say energetically, whoever you're connecting with, again, be it friends, collective, counselor, coworkers, family, love, whoever you're going to be connecting with, and really, when you hit that reset button and you hit the redo button, you're like, okay, all this information that I've gathered over the last 6 to 7 years has led to this moment right here. And now whoever you're moving towards, whatever's moving towards you, has the most genuine and loyal intentions. Soul family, caring connections, loyalty. All of these things also are telling me, when you're worried about being your most authentic self, because being known, being seen is freeing, because you don't have to hold the mask up. You don't have to pretend that you're okay all the time. Let people be there for you. But at the same time, being that open can be terrifying. This is confirmation that the people, the community, that the love that you're connecting with is coming forward with integrity, with honesty, and with loyalty. And I feel like energetically they've been loyal to you. Whether or not you're already connected with them, you already, are in talks with them, or it's a soul family just waiting for you to open that door to that next chapter. But it hangs on what you do. It's not that this loyal energy is, well, if they don't move towards me, then I'm not loyal. No, they are always loyal, but you have to want to accept it. Does that make sense? Like, loyalty can only be shown or proven if given the opportunity to show and prove. It's like I said here, the love, whether it's platonic, familial, professional, or romantic, love, it's not about worrying about how they're going to hurt you, more about focusing on being vulnerable and allowing yourself to be open and trusting that they won't hurt you. That's the loyalty. Like, whoever this energy is, whatever this energy is that's moving into your life, it's authentic. It's real. It's energetically loyal. It's part of your soul tribe. It's part of your destiny that you're writing for yourself. Only you can access this if you decide to. It's an option that the universe is trying to give you. Okay, and then so for wide open, allowing yourself to be wide open to abundance and happiness. To getting what's owed to you. You know, like you put in all this hard work. It's starting to pay off. It really is. A change in the wind. Yes. Look at the change. Like I pointed out, look how dark this card is, this storm, and look how beautiful and lots of sun and abundance and life is in this energy. You, collective, I feel really at this point where you're like, I just want my life to change, and you're ready to make that change. That first step, moving through that doorway, is the hardest. But in this particular row, the Spirit is saying, if you allow yourself to be wide open, then abundance can start flowing in. The only thing that's blocking your abundance, and I don't mean to trigger anyone, but the only thing that blocking your abundance, your personal happiness, is is you. When you have negative self-talk, when you don't believe that it could happen to you, when all you focus on is the negative, because I know some people have really hard lives. I'm not ignorant of that. But recognizing the good in your life, when you start focusing on things that are good and the things that you want, and the change and the love and the honesty and the loyalty and the caring and the commitment that you want to facilitate and foster in your life, then your energy starts, the universe mirrors us. So if you start thinking that way, the universe is like, okay, now the winds of change. And I said earlier today, it might be windy where you are. Air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, the winds of change are there. It's at your beck and call. You decide what you want to do. You have the strength. There is a soul family. There is a soulmate or a twin flame or a collective or a job opportunity that has been waiting in the wings for the moment in which you've decided that you're ready to pursue it, and that you are telling yourself that you're worthy of what's already been orchestrated for you. You just have to accept it and allow it to come into your life, and not run from the support and the love and the care and the community and the commitment that comes with that abundance. Okay, so for moonlight and community, trusting your heart, trusting your intuition to find your soul family. Then we have mending. They will also help with your healing, because a healing journey is never, I don't want to scare anyone, but just like learning, you can always be an eternal student. Healing is ongoing, because there's always these little things that pop up that require lots of focus and healing, or sometimes we just need some reflection. But the learning, the growing, the healing is an ongoing process. We are living a very human experience. And this community is part of how you heal. This connection, this love, this romance, this friend group, this counselor, whatever it is that you're connecting yourself to, is part of this mending process. It's part of the divine path that you're creating for yourself, should you allow it. Sorry, I didn't realize the cards were out of the shot. Okay, last card. Last bits for this closing message for commitment and caring connections. Spirit, tell us what this is. Add more information to the collective. Clean it up. I love this. The clean it up card reminds me of when it reminds me of when it reminds me of when I was young and I was moving from one apartment to the other. I had to call on the brigade, all of my friends, and being like, hey, so I've got to move. Could you help me out? It's calling on your friends and those that love you to help clear the way. Help you take things with you to your new place that you want to keep, that you want to foster, that you want to elevate, that you want to keep as a memento, that it adds to who you are, and also helping you make the decision to be like, you've outgrown this. Like, you don't need this. Do you really need this? Or to be like, this, you've kept this thing that hasn't worked. Why don't we together, all of us, say, thank you for being what I needed at the time I needed it, but send it out into the universe, send it back out into the world. Like, your friends are there to help you when you're cleaning up an old version of yourself so that you can walk in, like spring cleaning of the soul or something. And I said spring cleaning of the soul, and I said all of this decision is between now and spring. So come spring, you might have an entirely different outlook on how your life is unfolding if you're making an important decision in November. Oh my God, in the bottom of the deck, I have breathe. Just breathe. You can do this. You can do this. Collective, you can do this. I don't know why I feel so silly in this reading, but it feels good. It feels like, it honestly feels like I'm trying to like gas up one of my friends to be like, man, you could do this. You got this. You got this. You got this. Believe in yourself, because you have a community that is waiting for you. You have a love that is waiting for you. You have a loyal heart. You have caring connection. You have a community. You're riding through this storm. You're either riding this storm, you've called in the storm, or you see it come and you're like, I'm ready. My life has led up to this point. I know this needs to happen. I know I've got to shake myself loose from all of, the burdens that I've been carrying unnecessarily. To pull the chains from your body, to shake off the shackles, to drop those bags. I'm hearing Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. I'll link it in the description if that means anything to you. But to allow for this abundance to come in, whether it's monetary, romantic, emotional, spiritual. This is take it as it resonates in whatever aspect of your life, because no matter where you apply this, it holds the same meaning. The universe is saying you have gone through a lot in this last chapter cycle, last 6 to 7 years. And now it's like you're waking up from like a dream. It's almost like it was like an alternate timeline or something. And now you're being presented with a chance to kind of rebuild your life the way that you wanted, knowing the information that you have now, knowing the awakenings, or experiencing the awakenings that you have. You're getting a chance to do over. You're getting a chance to rebuild. You're getting a chance to invest in yourself, to love yourself, to heal yourself, to connect with people, to connect with love, to connect with opportunities, to connect with abundance. You have to reach out and reach out and take it. It's being offered to you, and you can feel it. And for those of you that do, those of you that trust yourself, and readiness isn't a feeling, it is an action, y'all. When you reach out and you take a chance on yourself and you invest in yourself and you said, I'm going to be vulnerable and I'm going to be consistent and dependable and I'm going to do what I know is right for me and my heart and my soul. This is what's meant for me. This is what I have to do. I've done the discovery. I've asked, quote unquote, what's wrong with me? Or why am I like this? And you've been given an answer and a direction, and now you're moving in that direction. For those of you that are on the precipice, in that liminal space of making this kind of decision between your old life and future abundance and future things that you're meant for, it will be life-changing. That's really how it feels. But it's all in your hands. I'm only reading the energy as it exists right now and what's coming in. This is in your hands. You are actively writing what the next chapter is going to be looking like. Or what the next chapter is going to look like. Sorry. And with that, my beautiful luminaries, is the reading for this week. I really appreciate you all being here and taking the time to watch my little channel. If you wouldn't mind sharing, or subscribing, because it does help me connect with more people who may want or like to hear this kind of reading. But until then, this is Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I will see you at the next reading.